think something needs to be said about a complete mindset change. There are so many different things throughout your Scentsy business that is going to be amazing and fun, and then the shimmer and glimmer of it all kind of fades off, and you may start to second guess what you're doing in your business. And when that starts, that's when you get to the point where you may be questioning things about yourself, like I'm not good enough, or I didn't do this right. I need to do this better. I should have done it differently. A mindset of what you think that you can and can't do. That is something you can change. Now, we've all had a point in our life, or maybe I should say, I had a point in my life where I was told that I was never going to be good enough. I was never going to accomplish things in life. I was never going to be great at anything. I was always going to be mediocre. I was always going to be maybe somewhat enough, but never fully enough for anybody or anything. So when you get to this point where you are trying to accomplish something, you have a goal in mind, no matter if it's through your business, through school, through a relationship, you really need to sit down and think about why you tell yourself these things. Because that person that's in your head, that little voice that comes out when you're trying something new or wanting to change your life, they start to take over what you completely think about yourself. I do this analogy a lot whenever I am talking to other consultants or other people is the way that you talk to yourself. If someone were to say those things to your children or a child that is you're in earshot of, your niece, your nephew, your grandchild, whatever analogy works for you, if you would not allow them allow those things said to that child, why would you say them to yourself? Now, in my life, there has been a lot of things that I've had to overcome. Growing up, I was very much into sports. I was very much a competitive person. And at some point in my life, about 14, something changed. And my mindset changed. And there was a lot of things that it was hard for me to figure out what I was worth. At some point in that, and that's the only age that I can go back to that I really was questioning my worth because I think there was somebody in my life, and maybe I'm kind of blocking it, but there was somebody in my life that told me that I was not worthy of anything, and I started to believe it. Um, Through my competitions of different sports and different, I guess I had a very good ego. I knew how good I was at sports. I was never the best, but I was never the worst. I was always more of a utility player in almost any sport because I was good enough for any position. I wasn't the best, but I was good enough and I could move positions real easily. So in sports, I had a good self-worth for a long time until about 14, and my life changed. That was the point where I started drinking. I was smoking cigarettes. I really just that life. That's where I started to second guess everything about myself. When I got pregnant in high school, I was a senior in high school. I got pregnant, and I had a counselor at that point ask me when I'd like to withdraw from school. And it didn't make any sense. It's like, why would I withdraw from school? And she's like, well, you're going to be a little bit of a distraction, and you probably need to go to, there is a pregnancy school that they would send the girls who are pregnant so that way they could go learn how to be parents. It was a parenting class. They would do some stuff, I guess, get them graduated. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I was like, no. My due date's is during the summer. There's no reason for me to leave school. Are you telling me I have to leave school? And they're like, no, you can leave school. Because at that point at 17, you can withdraw yourself from school. And they tried to make it that I wanted to leave and that the paperwork was because I was being transferred to another school. And I flat out told her, I was like, I'm not leaving. I've been going to the same school district since I was 5 years old. I was 17. There was no way I was leaving that school and transferring unless I had to. If they told me I had to leave, then that would have been something different. Because then I would have questioned, why are you making me leave? So as a high school student, I was pregnant my senior year. I went to prom, graduation, pregnant. I graduated in May, turned 18 in June, and had my daughter in July. And it was a whirlwind. And I moved out when she was 6 months old. So I was like 18 and a half. It was in 1998. And it was a struggle. I moved in with her dad, and I learned how to do things on my own because I was a single parent raising two children, and it was very hard for me. And so my mindset has always been to take care of everybody else. I never knew how to take care of myself. And as my children have gotten older, I have, um, as they've got my last baby, the last baby is graduating, graduated high school and is about to go to college. I've realized in the last couple of years, in the last three, especially when I got sober, that I had to do some work on myself. I had to work on what was holding me back from accomplishing things that I wanted to do. I started my Scentsy business in 2020, but I didn't quit drinking until 2021. I had a lot of self hate. I had a lot of self deprecating thoughts all the time about how I just need to be good enough. I just need to be good enough to get a little bit of success. As my time has gone through with Scentsy, it has built me up to the confidence level of knowing that I am worthy. There is a really great book that I started with. This is the one I started with. This is the book Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima. This really made me realize that I've been holding on to a lot of things in my life, and I haven't let go. I haven't forgiven myself. I haven't forgiven others, but I really wanted to focus on myself. For the last couple of years, I've been focusing on myself. So I've worked on changing my mindset. I've worked on starting to manifest the things that I want in life. There's another book that I read, and I couldn't find the hard copy. It's around here somewhere. Let me pull it up real quick. It's called Self Sabotage No More. And let me see if I can go to, yeah, Self Sabotage No More by Jennie Potter. So after reading Worthy, this was like the next book. And I've never really done self help books. I've read a couple things here and there. I was like, doesn't resonate with me. Like, oh, that's great. I tried reading some other books that others had suggested, and it just never clicked. These two really clicked with me. So the self sabotage no more. So Worthy was, I realized that I have worth. I have self worth. I contribute to my family. I contribute to my children. I contribute to others, especially my friends that I love dearly. But the self sabotage book really opened my mind to what's holding me back. And it is a process. It is something that you can't just learn overnight. I've listened to this audiobook, I don't know, 10, 12 times. I have it on a 1.5, and I listen to it. It takes about 2.5 hours roughly to go through the whole book. It's a small book whenever you get it. It does have a worksheet in there. That's why I know I have it around here somewhere. I'm just not sure where it's at. But going through and listening to the different things, one of the things that really resonated with me was the manifestation of the things that you want. And sometimes it's hard when you're working on your self worth and you're trying to decide what you are worthy of, trying to manifest new things into your life and bring in a new outlook or a new aspect to your life. You sometimes don't believe you're worthy enough to do it. So you kind of stop and you get stuck. And the self sabotage made me realize, like listening to the books, and there's different actions that you can take to kind of get you out of that stuck spot, is that there was things that I was still holding on to. There was things that, and again, I go back to the age of 14, that I'm holding on to that I haven't worked through. So I'm slowly working through. I'm basically kind of like understanding my feelings of how I feel. So I'm very vocal with my immediate family, letting them know that I'm feeling some anxiety right now. I know it's not logical. It's happening. This is what's going on with me. Give me a moment, or I'm overwhelmed. I'm overstimulated. Like there's too much stuff going on, or I've put too much stuff on my shoulders and I can't carry it right now. So I need to decompress. I've started to do a lot of my decompression in bed, working through it because I need to know why. Something that I've tried to understand is that it's not an easy process, but it's worth it. It's so worth it to try to figure out why you're where you're at. And self evaluation is hard because sometimes what we think is our problem isn't really the problem. You kind of have to dig down deeper. And I know a lot of this is being very vague. I don't really want to go into too much publicly, but changing your mindset and deciding that you are worthy of success. You're worthy of understanding your failures because you're going to fail at things, but you're worthy of understanding it. Like it wasn't that you weren't good enough, it's that you needed to understand why that didn't work. And understanding that and moving through those emotions, either physically of what's going on or mentally or even spiritually. Moving past some of these barriers will help you grow in your business, or grow in your life, your personal life. Understanding what you are going through, your body physically, feeling where it's at. Is it in your chest that's holding down, or are you like you feel like your back is hurting because you're carrying too much? If you can kind of put a visualization of where the anchor or where the emotion is sitting at, so you can kind of move through it and get rid of it, has been very helpful for me because I do visualize. When people talk, I actually see like words coming out of their mouth. If I was to um, recite the ABCs, I literally see it like someone touching A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's how my mind works. So I needed to visualize the emotion, visualize the pain or the the aching that I feel and where it's at, so I can kind of like physically pull it off and be like, okay, I'm going to set it here and we're going to move past it. That was just all to kind of bring me to is your mindset on when you are trying something new. Give yourself grace and understand it's going to take you multiple times to try it, multiple times to get. I would never say it's going to be perfect. We're never perfect. We're working on it. Like it's yeah, we're not perfect. We're just working on it. And when you start to say it out loud that I am worthy of success, I am worthy of this party going to be a success. This is what's going to happen during the party. This is how I'm going to react. So you're basically setting yourself up for if something were to happen, how you're going to react and respond. And there's going to be times that you're going to get frustrated. But the more that you work with more of a self talk, going through that, it will become easier to get yourself out of that weird spot, the anxiety, the frustration, the anxious aspect of what's going on with you. You can walk yourself through it because you have been working with it. There are a lot of things in my business that I haven't done well because I didn't have the tools. And when you start working on changing your mindset that you can do something, you need to have some kind of tool. So some people will watch videos and they will talk and they'll listen to what the other person is saying and kind of go through their little exercises or activities. Others need to read it, physically have paper that they can go through and write notes or highlight or underline and write notes in the side of a book or a worksheet. Others just need to listen to it. It needs to be going in the background. And that's where I'm mostly at, is that I want to hear it in the background. I want to be doing something else and then listening to it until something resonates and I stop and I'll rewind it and listen to it again. I've been changing up my business in the last year and a half. I've really been working on it, but I have been using my YouTube as a platform to, I guess, walk me through or to see where I was at in my journey, the different things that I have been working on. So that way, if I get stuck again, I can go back and be like, what was I working on? Or how did I get out of that mode or that mood? Or how did I push through it? And what did I do? So I've been trying to do this, I guess it's more or less a blog, or you can also call my playlist for my journey. This has helped me because it's made me be a little bit more honest with myself and with you guys of what I'm actually doing. I finished up a home party very recently. I was able to do this from my August 1st video. I had sent out multiple messages telling them that I wanted to earn a trip to Greece because I want to go to Greece. I want to go on a cruise. I want to take my husband with me. And I told myself for the next 6 months that I wasn't going to give up and I wasn't going to stop moving. I wanted to continue to move forward. I wanted to make sure that I was doing all the things the way that I was supposed to be doing, the way that I've seen businesses run. When I started back in 2020, we didn't have at home parties or in home parties because there was a lot of things shut down. So I've never done that. So I wanted to do an in home party. So when I started my booking blitz per se on the first part of August, I sent out messages. I sent out over 300. I think I got closer to 400 at the end when I stopped counting. I got a lot of no's, a lot of laters, and I got 7 yeses. There's still a couple of them that haven't scheduled with me, but I had 5 complete solid yeses on dates and time. I have done some Zoom parties, so I moved the virtual Facebook party to a Zoom party. It lasts about 30 minutes. I'm in my office. This is normally full of different products, and I talk about them. The home party was the same thing. I had been practicing doing this, and then when I got to the home party, I had a table and my products up, and I just started from one end of the table, and I went to the other end of the table and just talked about the different tips and tricks of each of the products, because I've been practicing. I've been going over it. I've been looking through my product guide, my product training guide, to give me some of those little insights of here and there. So I have tools that's helping me along the way. Now you're going to get to a point where you're like, you may roll your eyes at this video, or you may sit there and roll your eyes at yourself and like, why am I even trying this? I can't do this. Now, I will tell you something that I learned is that you can't do all the things all the time. There's a lot of things that you may want to do. Pick one and start working. So the Zoom parties and an in-person party I needed to book parties. That's all it was. I could do them anyway. I could either do a home party, I could do a Zoom party, a bag party where basically I give them a bag of products that they can go and they can use some of the different warmers or the fans, and look at the pods, see some wax bars, just kind of get the feel for the different products that we have. And then the other one was just to give them a rewards link or a shopping link so that way they could just share with their friends. So the last one is more or less when they're like, I don't want to do a party. I don't want to have to invite people to a certain time or date. But then that rewards link, I've been moving that to my business page and running a Facebook party through my business page. So it is the online party, but it's not a traditional one. And anybody who has a rewards link, I am moving it to my business page to allow anybody to order from me. So again, I could not have done this a year and a half ago. I couldn't have done it a year ago. 6 months ago is when I really started going into this journey. And I think at the end of June is when I started doing this video training. All of this, my day-to-day of the different things that are working and not working. But before my home party, I had told myself how amazing I was going to be. I'm going to be amazing today. I'm going to have a great party. Everybody's going to be asking questions. I'm going to have the answers. I am not going to get overwhelmed, but there's going to be so many orders coming in that I'm going to have to slow down. Everybody is going to order. Everybody is going to want products. Everything is going to come to me, and it's going to be an amazing party. And let me tell you what, I showed up. There was 15 people that were invited, or the host had invited like 15 people. Most of them canceled. Some of them got the rewards link, or some of them got her shopping link. Others that showed up, there was 3 people that showed up in person, and we had a blast. I was calm. I was collected. I talked about the different products. I explained to them how to work the different items. They hadn't seen Scentsy in 10 years. So I was showing them new products and new scents and new avenues of how to clean your dishes, what to do with the diffusers, the air purifier. I was in the moment. I wasn't stressed over, did I say the wrong word? Am I stumbling? Oh my gosh, did I just say that? I had told myself that this was going to be a great party. I told myself that I was going to be amazing, and I stuck with it. At the end of the party, it was a lot of effort for me because it was my first in person, and I put a lot of myself out there that by the time it was like 9:30, the party started at 6:30. Guys, I had been there over 3 hours, and it felt like the time just flew by. Everybody was amazing. It was such a gracious host. She had food and she had some punch. I didn't even get time to eat because I was busy answering questions and I was helping somebody over here. They put all the testers out so everybody could start to smell all the goodies. I brought the collection over. We had a Gordy Goodness collection that they all got to open and smell. So that way they knew what was something that was just released that wasn't in those samples. It was just a great time. So remember, as you're going through your journey, you may not be on the same page or chapter that I am. Just know that I'm here for you. You can kind of go back to the different parts of the videos. You can save certain ones so that way if you need to repeat or like I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite there. You kind of know where to go back to. My goal in all of this is just to show you that you're not alone. Just to show you that we all have trials and tribulations we go through with our business. There's things that are not going to work out, or things get delayed coming here, or there's other things that you get busy and you forget what you need to do for the day. I don't have a set schedule. I try to tell myself 30 minutes every day. Every day, at least 30 minutes. Now, sometimes if I don't feel I have the time, then 10 minutes. 10 minutes is my bare minimum bargaining negotiation with myself of what I have to do in my business. Something has to be done. And technically today, I already did my 10 minutes. I took out some goodie bags that was going to a host and I dropped them off at UPS because I've been having problems with USPS. So I dropped them off. So that was my task. I was done. It took my 10 minutes. I completed my task, but I felt like I needed to walk through some things. So I will be uploading I did do some reels on Facebook, so I will be uploading them here and kind of combining them together. I may do them in shorts so y'all can kind of see them of before, like my day before or earlier that day of getting my bag ready. And right before I left, it was like 2 minutes before I needed to walk out the door. And then when I got home. So take a look. I'll put them in the shorts. That may be easier. But see what I did and see how I talk to myself. And again, you need to do a lot of this in the mirror and look at yourself straight at. See, I couldn't do this in here because if I look at myself on the screen, I'm not looking myself in the eye. But tell yourself that you are strong, you are worthy, and you are important, that your feelings are valid. They're valid, but it doesn't run your day. You can be angry and frustrated. You can have feelings of anxiety, but that doesn't change who you are and that you can still do it. You just have to find your way to walk through it. You have to find your way to either face it or move it to the side so you can deal with it later. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it is worth it. I hope that you got something out of today, guys. I am Cassie Bollinger. This whole blog is all about my journey of rebuilding my business, reconnecting with my customers, and growing my team. I want to get back to where I'm actually getting paid at Superstar Consultant numbers and go back to being promoted back to director. That is my ultimate goal, but it's not an easy road and there's work. Guys, I'm not going to tell you that it's real easy. You just show up 5 minutes every day. You need to do something at least 5 minutes every day, but it takes work. It takes consistency. That means you can't take off months and months at a time and expect to come back to your business and it be in the same position that it was before. You can do this. I hope you're getting something out of this. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you can follow me more. Make sure that you save the playlist so that way it will start up on your next video whenever you're ready to listen. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will talk to you guys.